Brooke, thanks so much for joining us on the programme. If you're a Russian oligarch right now, how would you be feeling?
Very scared, not only about losing wealth, but about losing status, losing face among all the other wealthy people of the world you're used to hanging out with and influencing.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at Roman Abramovich, the owner of Chelsea Football Club, his assets have been frozen. Mikhail Friedman, another one, complained he doesn't know how to live after his $10 billion net worth was sanctioned by the EU and the US. Putin's rant this week suggests that they're not only pariahs abroad, but also at home.
Yes, I think Putin just issued a very unsubtle warning to those oligarchs saying, I know you've been living the high life at my good graces outside of Russia, but I'm telling everyone right now that you are traitors to Russia. You're cultural traitors. And so if you set foot back in this country, you can expect to be punished.
Why do you think President Putin delivered that speech, gave that message to the oligarchs abroad? Who was he targeting and what was his message?
It seems to me that he did that to punish some of the oligarchs who are abroad right now for speaking out, even mildly, suggesting that they would like an end to the war in Ukraine. Several oligarchs like Oleg Deripaska and Friedman both published semi-public letters saying, gosh, I wish Russia wasn't invading Ukraine. I mean, stuff that you would think in a normal country wouldn't get anybody in trouble. But oligarchs function at the pleasure of Vladimir Putin. And the last oligarch who really got out of line, Mikhail Khodorkovsky, back in the early 2000s, he put Khodorkovsky in prison and stripped him of his $50 billion fortune for daring to suggest that Putin might be corrupt. So it's never a good look for an autocrat to be seen to be not controlling his right-hand men, which is what these oligarchs are. So even if they make the mildest peeps against the war in Ukraine, he has to bring them to heel. And I think that's what his warning was about.
So do you think that eroding their wealth will do anything to end the war in Ukraine? Do any of them wield any political influence on Putin?
I think they've already performed their function for the West in response to the sanctions, which is to make Putin look weak. It's not clear to me whether they can phone up Putin and say, hey, I really want you to stop this invasion of Ukraine. I don't think that's the relationship that they have with Putin. However, as the Panama Papers showed us, in many cases, these oligarchs are holding Putin's personal wealth by proxy in their offshore accounts. So when that wealth gets sanctioned, that is a direct hit on Putin. Also, as I said, their mild signs of disagreement are a big signal to audiences inside of Russia, like the military who could depose Putin, and the people of Russia, to the extent that they have any access to honest media. They're signaling that Putin is not invincible.
I mean, some analysts that we've spoken to here on the program suggest that Putin could even nationalize their assets. Do you think that's a possibility?
That's what he did to previous oligarchs who dared to even mildly suggest that corruption was a bad thing in Russia. So I absolutely would not put it past him. It's within his power, and he seems to be in a very punitive state right now, not just against the Ukrainians, but against his own formerly closest allies.
OK, Brooke Harrington, Professor of Sociology at Dartmouth College, sharing some insight there into the world of Russian oligarchs. Thank you.
Thank you.